Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Kind of a different video today. I'm going to be doing a full breakdown and review of this new standalone air extractor that I got from my shop. Full disclosure, I did get this for free. This is a standalone air extractor, so it's going to pull all the VOCs and fumes out of your workspace and filter them through, so you're not having to build some sort of exhaust into your wall or do any kind of drilling or anything like that. So this is an awesome product. I absolutely love it. I'm going to take you through how it works, what it costs, how to set it up, all the maintenance, everything. I think you're going to love it. You're going to find the link for these products down in the description box. That's definitely enough chit chat for me. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright you guys, so I want to show you first how I have this set up in my shop. Now you might notice this cabinet here is where I do all of my epoxy work and things like that. So we like to have that shut off because I do live in a cold climate. So it's easier for me to warm a small cabinet than it is to warm my whole shop. So let's just put that aside. Now I also have my paint booth over here. Now I understand that this review is about a fume extractor, and some of you might be thinking, well, you already have something like that that has an inline exhaust. But the difference is this is designed to suck out the overspray of my paint. And if you notice, I paint a lot in here and there's absolutely no overspray on my floor because of this unit. That is what it's designed to do. And after using it for well over a year now, I actually really like it. Now, let's get down to what this video is all about, and that is this fume extractor. I wanted to address those things first because I knew I would get tons of questions about them. Now, this fume extractor is designed to extract organic vapors and fumes in the air without having to have an inline exhaust. Like you see here, my husband had to cut a hole in the wall. Well, that hole was already there. That was an old doggy door that we patched up, and then we route the overspray hood outside. Okay, so for the most part, this takes care of the spray paint fumes. But for the fumes and stuff that you can't see that you can still smell, that's where this comes in. So this is not designed to extract particulates or wet overspray or things like that. This is just going to extract the fumes. This was, I guess, supposed to be for like welders and stuff and people who had smoke in their workplace. Now, this has a charcoal filter and a HEPA filter inside. My husband put this together. Really all that was required was to put the little tube thing on and the casters at the bottom. It took him about 15 minutes, and then he had to slide in the filters. No big deal. I want to bring you in close and show you how it works. All right, so this just plugs into a regular outlet, and the control panel is right here on the side. So it has an on and off switch. And then you can change how much air it's actually extracting. And so what this is doing right now, so you can have, a lower setting to the higher setting. You can hear how loud this is. This is on the highest setting. What this is doing is it's pulling air from my shop and it's filtering the air and returning it back to the space and taking out all the nasty stuff that I shouldn't be breathing in. This is not a replacement for my respirator. I should still use a respirator, but what this allows me to do is when I'm not actively working with epoxy and maybe I'm doing something else, once I'm done coating my cups, this allows me to safely work in my space without a respirator while those cups are curing. So this is what comes with the unit, okay? And this just goes near where the fumes would be. So near where I spray paint, near where I mix and apply epoxy. And you can see how strong the suction is. I mean, this will suck your whole hand into it. I mean, you can feel it from here. It's stronger than my Dyson they'll pull your whole arm in if you're not careful on the high setting. Okay, and again, you can hear how quiet the unit is. It's not, you know, silent, but it is pretty quiet. Now you can run this unit for a while without incident. I wouldn't run it for the whole time. I would run it for like over a few hours maybe. It does draw a lot of power. But for the times that I'm working in here where I know I have high levels of fumes, I can smell fumes, I no longer smell them while this is running. So once I'm done, you just shut it off. Okay, and that's it. All right, you guys, so I showed you how to operate it and kind of give you a basic rundown on how to set it up. Now I'll just go over some of the benefits of this product. Now, I've been using this in my shop for over a month now, and I really strongly feel like this product is great for people who maybe rent or have small spaces. Maybe you don't have adequate ventilation in your shop space and you work with a lot of epoxy like me. This is a great solution for somebody who's needing good ventilation in their epoxy workspace. Okay, whether you do tumblers, whether you do any kind of epoxy work, this is going to extract all those toxic fumes out of the air, and it's going to filter the air and make it safe for you to breathe in there. Now, I still recommend working with a organic vapor respirator, as we discussed in my epoxy safety video, which I will link down below. But what this would allow you to do is, once you are done directly working with that epoxy, you've mixed it, you've applied it, and maybe you're also in your workspace doing some vinyl work or something else, and you don't want to wear your respirator the whole time while those cups are curing, while they're freshly wet, you can run that fume extractor, and in my opinion, this would be adequate ventilation for you to stay within that space. Because remember, no matter what your epoxy brand claims, no epoxy is toxic until it's mixed. And once it's mixed and it's going through that exothermic reaction, it is releasing VOCs into the air, and this fume extractor is going to take those fumes out of the air without you having to drill a hole in the wall, okay, without you having to have a vent hood, without you having to open all of the windows. This is great if you guys work in really cold climates like me. I can't always open my garage door to adequately ventilate my space. And as we discussed earlier, even though I have an inline exhaust for my paint booth, that paint booth exhaust is made for extracting overspray and wet particulates from the air. It's not designed to really extract fumes from the air. And at the rate that this thing is pulling air out of the space, it really works well. I was super impressed with the power of this. I also want to say, as full disclosure, I did receive these units for free, but I did not want to receive compensation for this review. All of the views and opinions in this review are my own, and I would not even air this video if I didn't love it. And the owners of this company can attest to that I put this video off for as long as possible because I really wanted to make sure that this is worth your money. This is nearly a $600 investment. They are giving us like a $35 discount for my viewers. Okay, so you guys are gonna get it for $597. Could be for some people cheaper than running some sort of exhaust fan or installing the inline exhaust and all that kind of stuff. This could be a good solution for you guys. The filters are a little pricey. So there's two different filters in this unit. You have your charcoal filter and your HEPA filter. These are working together to really extract and filter all of those toxic fumes in your air. They recommend that those filters are changed every 6 months to a year, depending on how often you use the unit. If you're using it every day, probably should replace them at the 6 month mark. But if you fall somewhere between that 6 month to a year thing, you're gonna be fine. They are a little pricey. So it's $285 altogether for both filters. I think the HEPA filter is $195 and the charcoal filter is about $90. Okay, now you can get away with just replacing the HEPA filter at that 6 month to a year mark, but and leave the charcoal filter in there for longer until you start smelling the fumes more. I was very impressed at the rate of air that this thing can really take in. And one test that I found really telling was when I use clear spray paint in here. Now I have my paint booth that's going to take out the overspray and the particulates, but it doesn't take out the fumes. It's just not powerful enough to do that. And I would always kind of choke myself out in here, and I was really bad about wearing my respirator when I was spray painting in here. I know. And that unit really helped pull all of that smell out. I could not smell it. It worked absolutely phenomenal. And that's when I was sold on this thing. And I said, okay, this works for me. I live in Washington State, so I can't always have my garage door open because it's super cold. Okay. So I really love this product. Like I said before, I wouldn't have brought it on the channel if I didn't fully believe in it. I really believe in the company. They've been around for a long time. They make a lot of commercial products for air filtration. And not to mention, I really love the company. The people that I spoke with via email about this whole video have been so kind and wonderful to me. I really appreciate them. And I even told them, I was like, listen, I don't want any compensation for this. You don't have to pay me for this review, because I really do believe in the product. And the stuff that they sent me is pretty expensive, okay? Because we have the air filter that we have at the shop, and then we have the fume extractor here. I said, that's payment enough for me, okay? I really do appreciate that. But first and foremost, I have to really test it, and I have to really believe in it. And I 100% do. Now, the air filter that we have at the shop from them, it's going to service up to 1,000 square feet. I have a 5,000 square foot warehouse. The office space towards the front of my building is where we have that, because we have, multiple employees in close quarters. And with cold and flu season, and with like it being an older building with kind of musty, dusty heating and cooling systems, this has really been a godsend. And I can smell the difference when I go in there. I could definitely feel it. It's fresher. The air is fresh. I run Dyson air filters inside of my house. I have one upstairs and one downstairs. And I almost want to get the air filter for my house too, and replace the Dysons, because I feel like this works better. The air filter is pretty quiet. It's not super silent. I would say it's similar to the sound of my Dyson air filter when my Dyson is on the medium to high setting. And that runs with the HEPA filters as well. So the HEPA filter replacement schedule is similar to the fume extractor that we talked about earlier. That air filter has multiple filters. I think it has 4 filters, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't research the air filter as much as I did the fume extractor, because I'm mostly interested in talking to you guys about the fume extractor, because I think that is the most practical product for our audience and what we would use it for while working with epoxy in our shops. All in all, I'm really impressed with the Pure Breeze FX fume extractor. Like I said, I think this is great for anybody who works with epoxy resin that is not able to simulate good ventilation in their workspace. Yes, is it a little bit expensive? Yes. Okay. This is not a cheap unit. I mean, it's $600, and then you have close to $300 for the replacement filters. I'd say once a year. It is expensive, but at the same time, you're going to have that peace of mind of knowing that this is truly going to be extracting those fumes out of the air. It's going to be filtering the air in your workspace. It's healthier for your home, especially if you're somebody who has to be doing this inside the home and you don't have the luxury of doing it in a garage or a detached shop and things like that. So for that, I do feel safe recommending it for my audience. I do feel confident that this is of good value for somebody who's wanting to safely use epoxy resins inside their homes. I will link these products down below, okay? Highly recommend checking them out, reading up on them, and determine if this is the right decision for you. I don't think this is right for everybody, and I know that this isn't right for everybody's budget. 100% understand that. But I do very much believe in the product. I do see the value here, and I'm very excited to introduce this product to the tumbler world. I haven't seen anything like this for us before that is really kind of aimed exactly at what we do and keeping us safe while we do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review. I'll be seeing you Saturday for a tumbler video, and I hope you are having a fantastic new year. It's been a while. We've been so busy with the shop, so forgive me if my content schedule has been a little off. I promise we're going to recommit to keeping a regular content schedule as much as we can for the new year. I love you all, and we'll see you on Saturday. And a big thank you to all of our Flynn Sisters exclusive members. Thank you for your pledge. Your support means the world to our channel. If you love this video, you could check out our last video here. Also be sure to find us on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and of course subscribe for all our new videos that come out every Wednesday and Saturday. Thanks so much for watching. See you soon.